Hi everyone, it's Brad here. I am having a look at a game I just played, the Internet Chess Club. It has been a long time since I've recorded one, and I apologize, but I'm just dead busy with school and a bunch of other commitments. I have been playing in some tournaments, and I got to confess, I've just been really suffering from well, having my butt handed to me. It's just been really awful. As a result, I've been booking up quite a bit, and I'm looking at a book on the King's Indian by John Ems, and it's a really fantastic book. I have to recommend it to you. It's part of the Everyman Chess series. It's a British publication, and again, I really recommend it to you. So I'm playing on the Internet Chess Club. It's one of a couple of sites that I really like. ICC is at chessclub.com. Check it out. It's really fantastic. And so I decided that regardless of how Black decided to respond, I was just going to press on and play as much of the traditional line as possible. So obviously we start off with e4. If it's the French defense. The French defense, it would have been e6, obviously, for his first move, but he started out over here on c5. So regardless, I'm just going to press on and see how we do. Anyway, I'm obviously going to top priority on the main line is to fianchetto on the king's side, and castle on the 7th move. So we're doing good over there. He's not being terribly aggressive, so this is a bit off book, but I'm able to fianchetto both sides. So he's got to be a bit worried. This is a 15-minute standard game, so it's a bit rushed. It's not we don't have a lot of time to develop. Rook e1 is also a priority. It's actually on the main line. It's actually the 8th move, and it's considered a priority to back up what's going on the e file, the e pawn. So we've done that, and we are all ready to go. And I'm also going to follow what's called the Steinitz formula, which you may be familiar with. One of the priorities in the Steinitz formula is to really kind of tie up your opponent's knights, to limit their opportunities for advancement. Push them back whenever you can, using your pawns, and then to open up your pawns to as much as possible let your own knights advance. So I'm going to do as best as I can. I'm going to allow my knights to get in there and cause a little trouble. So knight h4 allows me to push in. He pushes back, and I'm able to get a pawn in there, which I think is kind of critical, actually. It shows itself to be critical toward the end of the game, and forces him to resign. You'll see. And okay, so he's coming up with a bit of a threat there on bishop c5. That's a bit of a threat to the king. That's on the same diagonal. So again, we have a knight h4 again. Here comes that knight, and here we're exchanging knights again. So all the knights are off, and it's just we both have a bishop pair, which is part again of the Steinitz formula to acquire a bishop pair. And here we go, bishop c6 on the 25th move, and that is check. Now he blocks, and I think he's counting on me to do kind of a beginner's move, which would be to take on there. But why capture? Why capture and exchange bishops when you can simply move back and maintain an outpost and have a constant threat on that diagonal against the king, where the king has nowhere to go because he's blocked in by the queen and by the light-squared bishop. So the black king is trapped. So the light-squared bishop, black's light-squared bishop, I think he sees that. He also seizes on an opportunity to capture a pawn, and he pulls out of there. I push in a little further and take advantage of that of the pawn at g6, and check him again. my next move, of course, is to bring up the queen and link together the bishop and queen in a strong formation that is going to make it harder and harder for the king to escape. Now, he of course pulls back. I'm not sure. I might have tried to, well, I guess trying to make an escape. Well, he might have made a bit an easier escape out this way. I'm not sure. Out to d7 might have been an option. I'm not sure. It might have been worth exploring for him. But nevertheless, he's looking at the he's on his last rank there. So this is my first sacrifice. There's actually a couple in here. Bishop takes e5, and obviously f takes e5. So goodbye to the bishop there. But allows me to bring up rook takes e5. Obviously, he cannot capture with this with his d pawn, because obviously I will capture his queen, and he will be in a whole world of hurt. Okay, so he pulls back his light squared bishop, and he is trying to prevent further difficulty for his king. I'm not sure. I think he's really just putting off the inevitable here. So what I do here is I pull over my other rook and sacrifice the first to gain some space there. So at this point, I did miss the opportunity to capture the dark squared bishop on c5. I did catch up to it eventually, but I did capture the pawn there, which obviously is just closing in on the king. So it probably makes no difference at this stage whether I captured that bishop now or in a move or two. So what is his best move at this stage? I'm not entirely clear. I think I'm not entirely clear whether the queen, whether putting the queen to threaten the rook, probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference, because the checking play is going to come from the queen. The queen capturing the bishop there, and I think he probably realizes that. So he takes he brings his queen out there, where in fact he probably should have just put it on the same diagonal as the bishop there. That probably would have saved him. To tell you the truth, if he put his queen on e7, beg your pardon, on e7, that probably would have saved him some trouble. But in any event, so queen takes c5, check, and black resigns because it's mate in one move. He is clearly stuck, and that is the end of the game. So in all, there were two sacrifices there. There was a sacrifice of a bishop, a sacrifice of a rook. More active sacrifice of the bishop, and the rook just pretty much followed along. So it sort of transpired that way, and it worked out very well. But black didn't have a whole lot of options there. I think he had a couple chances, I think, to avoid the inevitable, but didn't really seize on them. Anyway, thank you so much for checking this one out. I really would like your comments on the last say 5 or 6 moves in particular. What could black have done to avoid mate, and anything else that you'd like to comment on. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.